Once the storm clears, the Baskerville triplets watch in surprise as Vikir stands before a massive pile of glowing gold candies. A single gold candy is incredibly powerful, as it can instantly raise a person's level by 1 or be traded for 300 regular candies at the shop. Scylla, the fourth-floor guide, floats down in a cold sweat, forced to hand over this legendary treasure as the reward for clearing the impossible hidden mission. She is completely losing her mind, screaming internally because this quest was actually designed to force a game over, not to be beaten. She simply cannot understand how a mere level 1 challenger easily defeated the ultimate calamity of the deep sea. Ignoring her mental breakdown, Vikir calmly asks if the candy shop is open, forcing Scylla to quickly swallow her pride and behave. Vikir then orders her to convert every single one of his precious gold candies into standard, low-grade stat candies. Massive sacks of basic red, blue, and green candies crash onto the beach, leaving the triplets completely confused as to why their lord would pass up direct level-ups. However, Vikir has a master plan, and he coolly reminds his siblings that this exact move is why he has been hoarding resources. He announces that it is time to gamble, pulling out the S-rank conversion bug and placing it on the little spider so the parasite can turn 100 candies into a random new one. Vikir wants a prize far greater than simple level-ups, as he is hunting for the ultimate, locked hidden stat, mana resistance. Armed with a huge hoard of over 12,000 basic candies, he is ready to exploit the system and unlock his final god-tier trait. With such a large stockpile, Vikir calculates that he has exactly 128 attempts to win this high-stakes gamble. Grabbing a handful of candies, he resolves to unlock that final game-breaking stat before his entire stockpile runs dry. Vikir checks if baby madam is ready, and the little spider happily responds, eager to start the massive feast. He then kicks off the feeding frenzy, dumping the candies into his bizarre little lottery machine. Scylla, Decarabia, and the triplets watch the chaotic spectacle in silence, utterly speechless at his unusual plan. But after burning through all 128 attempts, Vikir looks at the pile and realizes he did not get a single rare candy. Realizing he just wasted his entire boss reward on a failed gamble, he feels a wave of pure despair. Sweating nervously at his terrifying aura, the triplets cautiously ask their lord if he is doing okay after such a brutal loss. Vikir snaps his head around with a furious glare. He locks his predatory gaze onto his loyal siblings, who instinctively clutch their own small candy pouches in sheer terror. The triplets desperately argue that those candies are their hard-earned savings, but under their master's terrifying glare, they immediately surrender them. One of the brothers quickly grabs the candy pouches before the others can even react. He proudly holds up his bag like an offering, declaring that since their lives belong to their lord, their assets are also his to take. Touched by his siblings' intense loyalty, Vikir sighs and regains his composure, admitting he temporarily lost his cool under the pressure. He hands the bags back, calmly noting that although his gamble failed, they can easily farm more candies on the upcoming floors. Seeing this, Scylla suddenly panics and desperately calls out to Vikir, begging him to wait. Vikir asks if the system is trying to throw another boring mission at them, but Scylla nervously clarifies that she actually has a unique business proposal. Pointing to his remaining stash, Scylla offers a secret trade, if Vikir gives her exactly 10 gold candies as a fee. Vikir instantly reads between the lines, guessing that she is offering to let them skip floors 5 through 8 to descend much faster. Scylla confirms this, pointing out that skipping floors means escaping faster, and she knows he is desperate for more candies right now. Since he just suffered a brutal loss, she expects him to jump at the chance, but Vikir asks why he should ever agree to her terms. Vikir points out that by clearing every single mission, he will earn rewards far more valuable than 10 gold candies, making her offer a massive scam. Scylla sweats in terror, realizing Vikir is a complete monster who never even considers failing, making him impossible to negotiate with. Dropping to her knees in tears, the guide begs for mercy, crying that if Vikir keeps clearing floors at this rate, her superiors will execute her. Decarabia scoffs at her misery, noting that the native creatures of this tree are enslaved by the system and live in absolute terror of the demon lord, Amdusius. Looking down at the crying guide, Vikir recalls the memoirs from his past life that detailed the tragic history of the Abyss Tree's fairies. Originally, these fairies were the peaceful inhabitants of the tree, but everything changed when Amdusius conquered the realm and enslaved them. Although Amdusius is the supreme master, he does not micromanage, choosing to isolate himself and absorb negative energy while the natives handle daily operations. This leaves the fairies responsible for managing the trials on each floor, under one golden rule: Do not let challengers disrupt the Demon Lord's plan. If any fairy fails to maintain order or lets a challenger break the system, they are executed without a second thought. Normally, letting humans get stronger through regular rewards is fine, since Amdusius designed the system to encourage challengers to climb. The system wants them to participate because the higher they climb, the deeper they will fall, generating infinite despair for the demon to feed on. However, the real nightmare begins when a challenger's power completely crosses the line, just like Camus Morgue did before Vikir's regression. Terrified that her insane growth would disrupt the plans and get them killed, the desperate fairies targeted and suppressed her relentlessly. Vikir realizes that his own game-breaking performance has put him in the exact same target zone, though he does not care about their schemes. Vikir crouches down next to the trembling guide, coldly telling her that while her survival is not his business, she needs to offer high-value collateral to make a deal. He points out that asking for 10 gold candies to skip floors is an insulting lowball compared to the valuable loot he would earn by clearing the trials. Terrified by his immense bloodlust, Scylla cries hysterically, frantically agreeing that her initial offer was far too cheap. She immediately uses her system authority, opening up the legendary hidden artifact window right in front of them. A massive, glowing database of high-tier gear appears, containing every single legendary weapon and accessory hidden inside the Abyss Tree. Vikir is genuinely surprised by the restricted inventory, while Scylla desperately begs him to pick any god-tier artifact as an additional bribe.